vị và các bạn nha. Hôm nay mình đi Johnston Space Center. Yeah. Is that a real shuttle?
Is that a real shuttle? Yes.
Or I mean,
it was one of the original shuttles.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where we were last time.
Yeah, and that's a SpaceX Falcon 9.
Okay. Yep.
For the Crew Dragon.
Booster. Okay. Hôm nay mình sẽ vô đây nha, mình coi cái một cái rocket mà cái này là 19 the.
This is one of the original Apollo rockets. That's the capsule where the astronaut was in.
Yeah.
And then everything else is second stage.
Uh-huh.
Apollo 19.
19.
Apollo 19.
Yeah.
So the rest of these, when they launch, all these is lost, right?
So the first stage will detach, the second stage will detach. This whole thing will get to the moon, but only that will land back on Earth.
Okay.
So only that piece will land back on Earth.
Okay, so this whole thing stay on the moon.
Yes, that whole thing stays on the moon.
Okay. Yep.
And then that thing is the system is like an emergency escape system. So if something's wrong with the launch,
Right.
then that whole thing can fire up and pull the astronauts away from the whole stack.
Oh, okay. Yep. Push it away. Okay.
It's so big in person.
Yeah. Đó, quý vị thấy không? Yeah. Cái này là cái rocket nha, là cái là gì ta? Cái hỏa tiễn hả? Cái để phóng lên cái chiếc này là chiếc 19 á, nó chưa có lên được trên không gian nha. Yeah, quý vị, cái chiếc này là để lại đây, còn lại đó. Thì đó, cái đầu đó là như giải thích nãy á, quý vị, là những người astronaut đó, tức là phi hành gia thì sẽ ngồi trong này đó. Rồi ngồi trong cái đầu này nè. Còn cái phần đó là nói là nếu mà bị khủng hoảng gì đó, bị emergency khẩn cấp á, thì cái đó nó sẽ, trong đó nó sẽ, cái rocket nó đẩy đi, nó kéo cái này ra khỏi cái phần này đó. Rồi
Kind of
No.
situation, very sad.
now, does it have fuel in there that can propel
Yes.
too? All of these stages has its own.
This is the fuel
Uh-huh.
segment. That's the kind of like the living segment.
Okay.
So whenever after they launch, so when they launch, they all sit in that capsule.
Right.
But once they're in space, they'll float around inside of this one, and there are like different systems for them to like eat, sleep, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So.
And then by the time, and then that one will propel them to the moon and also help them land.
Right.
And then bring them kind of back. Into like the Earth's atmosphere, but when they actually come back into Earth, this whole thing will detach and burn up in the atmosphere, and then that capsule is the only thing that has the heat shield underneath it, so that they can actually like land back on Earth without burning up.
Yeah.
So that they sit in that exclusively, I think, for launch and then return.
So the question is, when this whole thing is on the moon, okay, how do they propel themselves out of the moon?
So there's like a lunar module.
Module.
Inside of this segment as well.
Okay. Yep.
So I think that lunar module, like you see, like so it will help them land on the moon,
Yes.
and then there's a segment that will detach and propel them back.
Okay.
to,
Out of the moon. Okay.
Back to the thing that's rotating around. So I
Okay.
think this stack will really rotate around.
Yep.
So one guy will have to stay in here and rotate around, and then two guys will go down there and do science.
Yes.
And then they're ready to go. They come back up and meet up with the guy that's rotating around the moon
Oh. Okay.
to pick him up and go back.
I see. Yeah. Interesting. Parachute. Okay, this kind of explains it. Coming in and go around the CE. Interesting.
Yeah, we can go down this way as well.
Yeah.
Go up and see how big the size. All that stuff is all fuel.
Oh.
Yeah. So this.
So the lunar module sits in here, and some of the fuel also sits in there as well. Like, so once they escape the Earth's orbit, it doesn't take much fuel at all for them to
Yeah.
go around the moon and back.
Yeah. Because it's very low gravity. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, lớn quá.
Lớn thiệt đấy.
Very big. Quý vị thấy không? Lớn rất là lớn. Đây là journey to the moon. Lên không trăng nha. Đó. 10 tổng cộng hết là nó build hết 19 cái hỏa tiễn nha. Cái để lên lần nữa nè cho quý vị xem ở trong. Đây, đằng sau.
It was the real one that was supposed to be used in Apollo mission 19,
And
but that mission was canceled. So that's why they didn't use it.
So there's no more Apollo program.
Right. Yeah, because
Now everything gone to international space station.
yes, and then the next one, concurrent that we're just now working on is called Artemis program, because Artemis is the sister of Apollo.
Okay.
So it's like a sister program to the original legacy program that will take us back to the moon. So the only time when we went to the moon was in the 60s and 70s. So we're coming back to the moon, hopefully before the end of 2030. So
30? Really?
I think the next one is supposed to be 2026 or 2027. But I mean, there's always delays.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to account for delays.
delay.
That's always need more money.
She trained well. Yeah, they have more funding for it.
Need more funding from taxpayers.
Yeah, you get promoted, I guess. Now that's the engine. Look so. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
engine of the stage 3.
yeah.
I think stage 3 is as soon as they get out of the atmosphere, but there's still some gravity left.
Right.
They still need some more thrust
Yes.
to take them further out.
What are those balls? That's
I don't know.
looks so.
I have no idea about engines. Don't ask me about engines.
It's
That's a lot of balls.
weird design. Yeah.
Big ball.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty neat, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
There's more back here
look at all that. It's incredible.
Cool. Maybe that's a question we need to ask Saul.
Yeah.
Those balls.
Yeah. Where you designed that?
Like back that.
Yeah. What are those things?
He's more what? He's more in the what? The design.
He's more engineering.
Yeah.
I'm operations only. He does engineering, but
So,
he
yeah.
does RF communication, so radio
Oh, okay.
frequency communication.
Yes.
So there are like boxes of like radio frequency stuff inside each of these modules
Yes,
to be able to communicate back to
Yeah.
the Earth, like the status of equipment and stuff like that.
Right.
So he works on that communication stuff.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
right.
so communication.
Yeah. So I don't think he knows engine stuff. Either.
Yeah.
No.
Uh-huh. Yep. Look at this.
This is like
Uh
5 about 6.
huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Different stages.
Right? 6?
No,
Oh,
it's
5.
probably more.
5.
It's one in the middle, and then
Yeah, 5 of them. 5.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And then the last stage one we have.
Wow, that's big.
This is the first thing.
I mean the first.
Wow, lớn không quý vị? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
There are a lot more, and I think they're a little bit
Bigger.
bigger.
Yeah. You got to be.
Yep.
Take all everything up. Wow. So how much?
That's aggressive.
How much is it approximately this whole deal? Do you know the cost?
I have no idea.
You can probably Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apollo
Yeah.
19.
It's
cost.
probably a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't think it's for
Probably,
sale,
right?
right? Yeah, probably like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many, many. Yeah.
100 bill.
Yeah.
Oh, we have some of
Ở đây cũng có thêm cái đằng này là cái engine, cái máy của nó còn bự hơn cái phần vừa rồi nữa. Yeah, khủng khiếp.
Yeah, so
Năm
25 to 30 billion for Apollo 19.
really?
The whole program approximately 257 billion.
Really?
Yep.
For
That's,
this
For this whole program
chump
project.
change for the U.S. government.
for just 19 or for the whole overall?
For the whole project.
Mark?
For the whole project, Apollo project.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
Again, how much?
between 1960 to and 1973, right? That's when it stopped, or
Yeah.
they stopped.
Around there.
So only 13 years?
Yeah. So basically,
And the cost is
200 and
Oh.
something.
billion.
but that monetary value is basically based on 2020 inflation dollar, like you know, like today.
Oh, into that.
Value,
It's
yeah.
already
So,
adjusted.
Yeah.
Sorry, adjusted. So who do we have here? Honor dedicating to.
Oh.
Okay, so they dedicate this facility.
This, yeah. So this is the one where we said again.
Largest significant.
Same location.
Yeah, they just put a building outside of it. And the reason why they made all the space centers near the ocean is so that they can transport parts from your boat.
Without
It's a lot
costing too
cheaper.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So this whole wall also, like it goes through like each mission and like what they were supposed to be for. And actually these guys
Apollo
were
1.
yeah, part of Apollo 1. They were test pilot, but the unfortunate thing is that they all died because of a test that went wrong. So basically I think there was a fire that was started inside of the compartment that built up the pressure, and unfortunately the door was designed to open inward. But because of the pressure they couldn't open it.
Right. Yeah.
So from then they learned that they need to design the door that opened outward.
I see. So they can push it out.
Unfortunately those guys died, but that is one of the multiple stories that NASA uses to teach people like the importance of learning from the past, like learning from your mistakes and like preventing it from happening in the future. So this is one of them. Challenger was one of them, and Columbus was the other one.
Yeah.
picture? Like,
Yeah, I think we could.
Chụp hình không, Ryan? You want
có
to take picture?
có chụp nhiều rồi.
You sure?
Yeah.
It's like one in a lifetime, man. Okay, God bless you.
Đứng
yeah.
qua. Yeah.
anh đứng vô nè.
Vô.
Đứng,
Anh Bình luôn.
đứng vào đi. Yeah. Ok. Yeah. Để anh bỏ này xuống thôi.
Yeah.
Vanessa.
This one went up a little bit and what happened?
It says stuff off.
Đây là cái máy quý vị, engine. Và đây là một cái engine nữa. Đây, H1 engine. Máy.
Astronauts were on their way to the moon because Apollo 11 was the one that landed the first time. These people were the third people. The third people were going back to the moon, but then halfway through that area right there, it exploded. The oxygen tank exploded, and then they were running out of fuel.
Right.
So instead of going to the moon, they had to like slingshot around the moon and come back to Earth.
Oh.
But they basically barely survived.
Yeah.
that.
It was like a miracle happening
Yeah.
for them to actually get them.
Yes, exactly.
So the Apollo 13.
14.
Yeah.
YOLO. When I first looked back at the thing.
Which Apollo? Armstrong?
Yeah, so they were Apollo 11.
11. So 11 was the one with, what's his name, Glenn? Armstrong?
Something Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
yeah,
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, Neil Armstrong.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, I just know the last name.
I watched the movie
Đó quý vị, thì đây nó nói là Apollo 17 nha. Là cái cuối cùng á, đưa men, tức là người lên trên khung trăng. Và nó chỉ đem theo những người đã train, tức là đã tập dượt rồi, to walk on the lunar surface. Người đã học tập để biết đi trên cái khung trăng, lunar surface, lunar module pilot. Because of astronaut and return the greatest amount of rock. Yeah, thì họ lấy nhiều cái để thí nghiệm đó, những cái cục đá nè và đất nha, để đem về thí nghiệm trên mặt trăng có gì.
Question?
Hey, question.
Yeah.
I'm asking for the government. Does the moon have oil?
Oil? We don't know a lot about the moon yet. That's why they need to go back and do research. Yeah, because like with like how many like missions, there's so much we don't know about the moon. Every time they go, they collect rock samples and like analyze them to see if there's any like minerals or anything that they can take advantage of. One thing that they're trying to go back and do research on is like the southern pole of the moon, which is always dark. It's always dark year round and it's never exposed to the sun. But they don't know what's in there, so they're gonna go there and like do research to see if there's any like water or ice or anything like that that they can use as fuel.
Pilot Fred Hayes. 2 days into a 3-day journey to the lunar surface, disaster struck.
He's the guy? The guy from that.
A malfunction in an oxygen tank caused the surface module to rupture, losing 2 of the 3 fuel cells and venting oxygen into space. Without electricity,
Okay.
the astronauts
There's more to see. Yep. Okay.